respectfully request the Sangha great virtues for the sake of this assembly and all living beings. Please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung thính đại đức tặng thịnh, vì thứ Pháp vội cập nhật thiết chúng sanh, thịnh chuyên diệu Pháp luân giao đạo ngã mù, như há liêu sanh thoáng tư lý khổ đạc lạc, tất chứng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Nam mô Sa Nan Thù Sư Chế Đô Ye La Hư Đi San Miao San Pu Tô Xie. Nam mô Tát Đạc Thà Tô Già Đà Già A La Hà Đế Tam Miễu Tam Bồ Đà Tọa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I am able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual principles. Wu sheng 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 wei miao fa bai qian Wan Jie Nan Zhao Yu, Wo Jin Jie Wen De Shou Qu, Yuan Jie Ru Lai Zheng Shi Yi. All Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Great Master Sutra, Great Master Shenhua, all good monks and nuns, and all good no advisors of Meidofo. 诸佛菩萨、诸者大士、师父上人、各位出家人、各位善知识、弥陀佛。Chư Phật Bồ Tát kính thưa Trí Gia Đại sư Thượng Thiện Hóa Quý Thầy Cô về Kỳ Thị Sinh Thiết Cực Anh Di Đà Phật. Hello everyone, today is the day after Valentine's Day. And we're here at Way Mountain to continue discussing the Vimalakirti Sutra, Chapter 1, Slide 195. Thank you all for joining us, for the opportunity to study this Dharma with you. We are talking about the section in the chapter that talks about the 32,000 Buddhas, Bodhisattvas in attendance. There are lots of them, so they only enumerated a bunch, all right? And we now at Bodhisattva Luminous Marks. This is the third time we're talking about this because we're going into some research material, some background information for you that you need to learn the jargons here. These are important concepts in Buddhism. So don't try and understand. If you don't understand, it's okay. It's very profound. And it's important for you to listen to the jargon and be exposed to so that we can plant the seeds of perhaps wisdom in you, which someday, one day, will mature and help you become enlightened. Okay, this slide here is discusses the concept of true truth and a mundane truth. So it's like two truths, if you will. The truth refers to the fact that they are the unchangeable. This is the wisdom of the Buddha. If you really have wisdom, you will understand this. If you don't, it's okay. In the future, you will. So the true truth, this is from Master Chandran, and the true truth versus mundane truth. Okay? How come this is... I thought I modified it. I changed it. Maybe you loaded this before I changed it today. Yeah, there you go. Well, thank you very much. All right, I just changed the order a little bit, same content, no difference. First of all, I want to talk about the true truth. Truth is unchanging principles. Doesn't matter what you are, this entire universe, it holds true. Whereas all the worldly knowledge and wisdom and so-called facts are actually worldly truth. They have a range, a domain where it's true. Like a mathematical formula, before they put a theorem, okay, they said this is domain where this theorem holds true. Whereas the truth here in Buddhism refers to the truth that is true everywhere in the entire universe. The domain is the entire universe. All right? The first is the true. The true. What is true is that this truth here, it extinguishes all phenomena. What it means is that this true truth here holds true regardless of how you feel or what you perceive. Okay, so the truth, this true truth here is the truth of emptiness. Everything is empty, regardless of what they are, what they look like, what you believe, what you think, what you want, what you aspire, makes no difference. The truth is that everything, the true nature of everything is emptiness. Love is empty. Material things are empty. Every single thing is empty. President is empty. Money is empty. Fame is empty. Yeah? Wife is empty. Hard to believe. Okay? Second truth, mundane truth. Mundane truth is that the truth according to how we, people in the world, perceive it. Okay? And the truth there, the mundane truth, establishes all phenomena. So it confirms to us, it's true to us. Any problems so far? Okay? The true truth and mundane truth. The true truth is what sages perceive. The great sages perceive the true truth. Okay? That's something we don't understand unless you become enlightened. The mundane truth is something ordinary people can perceive. What ordinary people see is actually considered mundane. All right? So there are the two truths that are diametrically opposed. Everything is real than mundane truth. Okay? Atoms, neutrons, atomic bombs, missiles, cannons, howitzers, F-35, okay, nuclear plants, they're all true. That's a mundane truth for ordinary people. Whereas the sages look at these things we look to be true, they said, the true nature of these mundane things that people value actually is empty. There's no point in attaching to it. That's what the use of the true truth here is, that the true truth is that when you look at everything, gold is almost $3,000 per ounce nowadays. You didn't know that? Where have you been? Okay? $3,000 per ounce. And when I first came to the United States, it's $1,000. That's decades ago. Okay? And so the mundane truth is the nature of our perception, and that's what we attach to. What we perceive, we attach to. Okay? And so this creates dependency. This creates affliction. It creates pleasure. It creates heartaches. All right? For ordinary people. The sages, they rise from this mundane truth here. They go, they cultivate, and they open the wisdom. They say, why was I so confused? Why was I so afflicted? Because all the things that I hold true, my daughter, my husband, my house, is empty. Like right after a fire. Sorry. Okay? Please forgive me. It's personal to you. It's the mundane truth to you. Okay? For me, it's emptiness. It's zero. Poof! Okay? So that this is a beautiful thing. It says, establishes mundane truth, establishes all phenomena, meaning that with this mundane truth, we embrace everything. Is that clear? That's how we relate to each other. I love my mother. I love my father. Yes? That's a mundane truth that's real to us. I'm not looking at anyone in particular, okay? Okay? Whereas this creates bondage. The mundane truth, whatever is true to us, creates dependency, creates bondage, okay? Creates fetters, make us attached and afflicted. That's why when you cultivate, you discover the true truth, which allows you to detach and let go. Because all this is not real, will be changing, is constantly changing. Where the true truth is a truth that is always true. Yes, 5.
So, Master, I can relate to people by going to In-N-Out Burger, but that's really suffering because you can't have it all the time, and it creates craving to go back again and again.
Yeah. Have you tried Big Macs?
We like In-N-Out Burger better.
In California, I heard, yeah. Sorry. Papa John's? They have sales right now. Yeah, In-N-Out Burger, I heard, is quite expensive nowadays. Still, no?
They're good. The fat burger is too expensive now. It's $12 for the
fat burger?
Impossible Burger.
Yeah.
And they charge for the ranch dressing with the onion rings.
Yeah.
$2 for the ranch dressing.
Ranch dressing for the dressing is $2?
For 2 things and I wrote a letter to the corporate office and complained.
Wow, that's ridiculous. $2 for? Oh God. Anyway, I switched to oil and vinegar. Anyway, and so, yes, the mundane truth is the reality for ordinary people. It's real to them. Everything is real to them. The true truth is the truth for sages. So you have the world of ordinary people and the world of sages. Those are the two truths. Okay? Is it clear? For Buddhism, it's very clear about these things. We understand where you stand. When people come to you and say, I just lost some money I just crashed my car and it's totaled. And my master almost killed me. That's the truth. Okay? It's because your master is not enlightened. That's why he's so afflicted. All right? Whereas if the master who is enlightened, he looks at, the car is empty anyway. Oh Lord, do we understand each other? Okay? So that's why there's two different worlds. The seishi world, okay, that can detach, and the ordinary people world, common world where we are attached. So detach and attach. Those are the two truths. So far, so good. Okay, and then, so that's what he says. Mundane truth establishes all phenomena, meaning that everything is real now. Whereas the true truth extinguishes all phenomena, meaning what? You can drop everything. You can let go of everything. Tea, and so forth. You can let go. But thank you very much. See, I can flip from true truth to mundane truth. And that's a middle way. What's the middle way? Middle way unifies all phenomena. What does it mean? The middle truth says that it's both empty and real at the same time. So you can reject it and embrace it at the same time. And it's perfectly okay. Just like when I praise you, okay, I say, oh, you're such a wonderful disciple, but I don't mean it at the same time. You should know it by now. I'm two-faced. That's my reputation. Okay, got that? So the middle way is the unifier, if you will. Okay? It unifies both sagely perspective and worldly perspective and make it human. All right? Makes life wonderful. Balanced. Considerate. Compassionate. Kind. Shall I go on? I can go on and on and on. That's the middle truth. Okay? So that's what happens. What happens when you have the wisdom and you understand the level of middle truth. That's when you are able to embrace everything. Okay? And not attached to anything. That's real freedom. Well, here, ordinary people, especially in people in the world, they think of freedom as having enough money. No, that's still dependency on money. That's not real freedom. Freedom is when you're free of anything and everything. All right? And so, okay, so true means here, very important, true means not false, not deluded. Okay, what's the difference between false and deluded? Well, they're different words. What else you want? Okay, next. You were looking for something profound, huh? Let's stop beating that horse to death, okay? I can go on and on, but I realize, oh, wait a minute, we just ate a good lunch. There's no point beating and going too deep into these things. Okay, next, 196. Real nature versus true nature. Okay? And they're quoting, this is research, he quoted the Mahayana text. Okay? And so it says the ability to act is encompassed by both the real nature and the true nature. All right? And so the ability to act, meaning what? That you create karmas. Okay, that's encompassed. That belongs to both the real nature and the true nature. Okay, and what is the real nature? The real nature is encompassed by both the mundane truth and the ultimate truth. So far, so good. And the true nature is encompassed by both tathatha, true suchness, and absolute reality. Okay, this is the original question that I have: real nature versus true nature. All right, don't worry about it. It's just words. And for this particular slide here, I just presented to you because it's what the sages teach. And don't try to understand. All I want you is to be exposed to it. All right? There's real nature and true nature. Okay? And there's mundane truth and ultimate truth. Ultimate truth is what? True truth. Okay? Different names, but it's only a concept is that ultimately, everything is empty. That's the true truth. So far, so good. And then, ultimately, for us, ordinary people, everything is real. That's why it's called mundane truth, mundane people, mundane perspectives. So far, so good. These are very important concepts in Mahayana. And that's part of your wisdom. If you have real wisdom, you begin to understand these two truths deeper and deeper. And that's how you can arrive at the middle truth or the middle way. All right, excuse me. 197. Now, you talked about, in these contexts, provisional teachings versus actual teaching. Okay, and that's from Master Zhi, or the author of the commentary for this text that we use, the Master Tutor from the Tiantai school. And so for him, so he's very, very erudite and very eloquent, as a matter of fact. He says, what is the difference between provisional and actual? Okay, the teaching that's called provisional teaching versus actual teaching. Okay, he says provisional is just refers to temporary names used for expedient purposes. Okay, whereas actual refers to teachings that express the eternal truth. Okay, and furthermore, he will make the connection for you, for you to have an idea of when you're able to see provisional teachings or the employed provisional teaching versus actual teaching. The paramita of skillful means adapts to circumstance and the benefit accordingly, therefore it's called provisional, meaning it's a paramita of skillful means, meaning that when you reach this level of your bodhisattva practice, meaning 7 ground bodhisattva, 7G, that's when you are able to deploy and employ skillful means. Before that, you just don't have enough wisdom to do it. Meaning what? Ultimately, for those of you who have the ambition and the desire to help others, you have to reach the 7G before you really have enough wisdom to help others. So be humble. Enlightenment has quite a range where you need to learn, you need to accrue your skills, develop your skills until you reach a certain level. Then you will be taught how to help others. So don't get a big head just because I say, oh, you're a fourth stage Rahat, oh, you're 2G, you're 3G. You're still pretty low. That's how you can't do much. Even at 7G, you can't really help that well. But at least you're beginning, you are teachable, if you will. You have the capacity to understand skillful means. Before that, like ordinary people said, you know, I lie because it's just a skillful mean to help you. If you're not 7G, don't lie. Am I clear enough for you? Don't be like ordinary people. Say, I'm trying, I'm like if Buddha lied to a kid, so I lied. So it's okay. No, it's not. All right? And the paramita wisdom reveals ultimate truth, thus it's called actual truth. You see? So if you have real wisdom, then you were talking about at the level of 6G, that's when you are able to be able to have a good grasp of the real wisdom or prajna wisdom, if you will. Any problems? In Mahayana, we're very deliberate. We have this whole picture here for you, and we patiently guide you for you, like help you solve this puzzle of your Buddha nature and how to help you see clearer where you are. Okay? There's nothing casual about this. It's very deliberate. It's very, very, if you will, scientific. It's not arbitrary at all. Okay? So I'm telling you this to remind you, be more humble. You don't know as much as you think. Okay? What you know is so little. And what you can do is so little. All right? Any questions? So that's why when people are low levels, then we have to use provisional teachings to help you. Okay? It's not until you're able to have a certain level, that's when you can reveal the actual teachings. Questions and comments? Is he like the dad that when he's happy, he makes a lot of noises? He runs in the family, or is he just unhappy? I think he's happy, right? That's why, yeah. Okay. Okay, yes, sir. Number 5.
So people aren't 7G, but what about the therapists out there and people helping, confused worldly people, or just listening to someone vent can help, but to really help, you have to be 7G.
You can't really solve the problems. All you can do is put Band-Aids on them below 7G. Okay? And it's useful enough. Band-Aids are useful. You cannot say that we don't need Band-Aids. Sometimes I put on Band-Aids. Most of the time I don't. Okay? All right? So that's the way of the world. The ordinary people, they're desperate. That's why they can use their therapist and use on because that's all they know. That's all they can get. Whereas, in contrast, instead of going and rushing to see a therapist, for example, when you feel depressed, when you feel unstable mentally, okay, if you rush to go seek help from outside, okay, that's not necessarily will help you. Instead, if you simply cross your legs and endure it like you train to in a Chan school, and then eventually you'll be able to see, or at least first learn how to better cope with the difficulties and with the suffering inside of you. Whereas if you rush to see a therapist, most likely they will give you some relief temporarily and then give you some drugs to take. That's all they can do. They can't really solve the problem. All right? But that's all we deserve. That's all we can get. That's life. Okay? Still better than nothing. All right. Okay, going back to the, that's the reference information. Any questions about the reference information? Okay. That is in Luminous Marks Bodhisattva here. We talk about real, okay, and real, and then true nature and real mark. And then we talk about true truth and mundane truth. And then we talk about real nature versus true nature. Okay, and we talk about provisional teaching versus actual teachings. So these are the Mahayana concepts that are useful for you to be exposed to. All right, and this is a continuation of the luminous marks, which is the light, the wisdom light, okay, and the wisdom light is the content of Buddha's enlightenment, the inherent, signifying the inherent truth, the ultimate reality. Okay, when you enlighten, meaning that you are in touch with your Buddha nature. That's enlightenment. Okay, the state of enlightenment is that you are in sync with your Buddha nature. Ordinary people are disconnected from their Buddha nature. That's the difference between ordinary people and sages. Sages can connect with the Buddha nature, and what's the advantage? It activates their wisdom. Ordinary people cannot connect with the Buddha nature. That's why they stay confused. But when you're confused and you're able to connect with Buddha nature, your confusion goes away. It has nowhere to go but away. Whereas ordinary people do not have that luxury. They have to resort to confusion, enduring the confusion, and getting external help. That's it. Yes, 9.
Amitabha, Master. When I contemplate the real truth, that's how I was just screaming right now. Like my body, just has a very strong reaction to letting go of the mundane truth and trying to even contemplate the real truth. And I was wondering if you could help me.
I can't help you. It's something you have to do yourself. The problem you have, the problem with people for most people, including scholars, including monks and nuns, who read a lot, who study, who goes and take classes in Buddhism, or read voraciously Buddhist texts. Okay, the problem with them is they hear these concepts, truth and so forth, true truth, mundane truth and so forth. And as you said, you are even worse for you because now you also know to cross your legs and meditate. You think you can contemplate the true truth. You can't. I'm glad you asked. The true truth is something that you'll be taught to approach, to contemplate later, not now. I'm glad you brought it up because I failed to mention that. Okay, these are concepts that you should know, but how does it apply to you personally? Doesn't apply to you personally. Right now, explain the deceits for most of you. That's it. Don't worry about it. Don't say, so I learned this, I want to be a sage, therefore I should be contemplating a true truth. No, you're wasting time and you're going to get in trouble if you keep it up. That's what happens to a lot of Vietnamese monks I know who love to study the Buddhist principles. And they would then say, what is the highest Buddhist principle I should cultivate? And they said, the unconditioned. So they sit there and they contemplate the unconditioned. They have no idea what unconditioned is. They just contemplate the unconditioned. It makes me feel like vomiting. Okay? Yeah. You can't contemplate the unconditioned because these people they're greedy and arrogant. They think I'm smart, I'm educated, I know a lot, and I deserve I should go for the most advanced Dharma in Buddhism because I'm smarter than everyone else. And they read a lot of books. And the more they read, the more confused they become. Because there's so much information they cannot process. And typical reaction is like manifest in your question. You read these things, and not just you, but I look at all of you. Okay, do you know that many of my disciples don't we know of these jargons? And they are at very high levels. Why is that? The Chan school doesn't need jargons. We train you without jargons. But now in order for you to teach others, to save others, then you have to learn the jargon so that you see the bigger picture. All I did for you, all the Wei Yang that I learned, training I learned from the patriarch is that we give you a very narrow alley where we push you through, and you get up there very, very quickly. Then the real work begins. That's when you learn the jargon, you learn all the skill set in order for you to do your job. In contrast, You do it like the scholars and ordinary people, they learn the concepts down here, learn the jargon down here, they acquire knowledge down here. This is for the Chan school, considered to be excess baggage that we dump. All your knowledge, I repeat for you. You want to get training from me, all your knowledge you acquired in the past, dump it. I don't care where you learn it from, including masteryonghua. You want my alley, you better dump everything. So this is why now we're learning these luminous marks, all these concepts, because I want my disciples to one day be sitting up here and teaching the Dharma. So they need to learn about the Dharma marks. Now it makes sense to them. They listen and say, I know what he's talking about. Whereas you guys can only think you know what I'm talking about. So the training is different. Worldly training is that you acquire knowledge and acquire jargon right now, and it makes you more arrogant and have excess baggage. Okay? I did that, by the way. I read so much. I'm voracious. I was a voracious reader. I read anything and everything I could put my hands on because no one was willing to show me how to cultivate. So I said, my master is dead. Okay? He abandoned me and left me with these people. I asked them for guidance. They could not give me guidance. Very simple things. I have problems with my body when I meditate. My body has these issues. I can't continue. So I asked, what do I do? He said, I don't know. If you can't even know how to deal with these obstructions when you cultivate, how can you help anyone? So I had no choice. I had to read a lot. I read everything I could find in any language I could understand. And after roaming around, looking for a teacher, looking for a way to cultivate, including Tibetans, including Vietnam, Taiwan, Thai, you name it. I look at everywhere. Okay? And then I decided to practice masteryonghua Dharma, follow his chant. And the more I practiced, the more I saw that what I learned from the other masters were all garbage. Knowledge is garbage. It's garbage when it is baggage that you don't need yet. It's like when you travel. You only want to carry so much, yeah? And you carry on. You go to Europe for 3 weeks. You're not going to move you're unlike a dragon lady who brings around 3 or 4 trunks to make sure she has everything she needs. We, real men, carry one carry-on, yeah? You want to carry your entire household with you when you go on vacation. That's precisely the point, okay? When you cultivate, same thing. You only want to know only enough so that you can get through. And when you decide to settle somewhere, that's when you go and buy from and furnish a household. Until then, you stay in hotels and Airbnbs. Verbo. Is that how you pronounce it? I've never used it before. Okay? All right? So That's the process of cultivation for us. That's what I learned from Master Shenhua. He gave a path for his disciples as well, that very narrow path, because fact is that path is so narrow, they don't know much about precepts. I asked them, I said, what does this precept mean? I don't want to violate this precept, because I know that's what I'm supposed to do. Explain to me, what is it? What is a violation? They can't even explain to me. So I realized that none of them learn precepts. So when they learn precepts myself, I said, you guys don't know, so I go find myself. Learn for myself. And I came back and I realized these people look at Master Shenhua's teachings. Oh, he only taught them so much, this narrow alley himself. Okay? And so that's the Wei Yang training, by the way. That's a Chan training, by the way. And the same thing now. Now, if you want to go further, then you have to follow my path and even drop his path. I can't care less. Even if the second patriarch comes here and gets on his knees, says, you drop his, okay? You start over. If you want to go faster, you want to go further, you have to start over. Because of a very big problem that I'm not telling you. If you believe, you're going to see the problem, and you're going to see the results. You don't believe, none of my business. Yes, 5.
2 YouTube questions. First from JLS. Is real mark like Master Shenhua's commentary? It is said, if one recognizes one's own mind, the great earth doesn't have an inch of dirt, it changes into yellow gold, etc.
Yeah.
And the second question from Diego Alfonso.
I wouldn't go that way, but anyway, it doesn't help you. It confuses me. I read so much. This is what the Chinese masters do. They describe real mark as this, real mark is that. I said, I'm not going to try to help you understand what real mark is. My objective, my goal is to help you experience it, see it, not describe it to you. I want you to see it, then you describe to me. I don't need to describe it to you, because I don't know what it is. Next.
And then from Diego Amitafa Master, the question is regarding myself. Should I read sutras, or should I wait until a master instructs me to do so? Thank you.
Who's that?
From Diego.
Oh, amigo. Just follow what you've been doing. I'm referring to the people who read a lot, who came from other places. Okay, I used to consider Master Shenhua disciples, my peers, as worthy competitors. I no longer think that way, because I feel that they're too stuck on Master Shenhua's teachings. And because of his teaching, they only could go so far. My disciples don't have that problem. They learn about Master Shenhua's teaching, but they also learn to drop it when necessary. These people, they refuse to drop it. They said, this is my truth. This is our truth. Sounds familiar? The more you learn, the more you become attached to it. It only slows you down. Anything else? This is a fallacy of the people who cultivate. They get to a certain level and they say, I'm pretty good. I know so much, I learned so much. Yeah, it's true. But there's still quite a ways to go. It's too soon for you to strike out on your own. Remember, when I told you your level, are you at 8G yet? Even 8G has serious issues. They cannot fix themselves. Case in point, Master Xu Yun is 8G, and I wish Master Xuanhua forget about his Chinese politeness and manners and should have tried to help him. All right. So the names here that you will see in Chinese, in English in particular, about Buddha's enlightenment, ultimate truth, inherent truth. Okay, these are the names you should be aware of. In the past, we used these names incidentally, and I didn't care whether you understood or not. But now you should hear about these terms. Oneness. Okay, oneness refers to the entire universe. Everything is included. Nothing is excluded. That's for, if you see that concept, then it's only one. All right? Ultimate reality. Ultimate reality means that everything is truly empty. You need not be attached to it. If you really can see the ultimate reality, you have zero attachments. And you don't need to insist on your way. Because there's no point insisting have it your way because it's empty anyway. True nature, that's your Buddha nature. Nirvana, that's when it feels darn good. Okay? That's where you deserve to be. Why aren't you? Why do you insist on living in the sewage? Unconditioned, total independence. You rely on no one. You don't need a woman for love. You love all the women. Okay? Unconditionally, as the Christians would like to say. I love you unconditionally. Formlessness are all synonymous with this ultimate reality. This is the reality of the sages. That's why it's called ultimate. When you go to 1G and up, you're able to get a glimpse of this ultimate reality. Until you're certified to be so, you're an idiot. Wait, let me take it back. It's too insulting. Too late. The malafait, the harm has been done. Okay, nothing like spending Saturday afternoon going to Master Yonghua's lecture and be insulted. Okay, since all phenomena perceived through conventional understanding are considered illusory appearances. Okay, whatever we attach to, whatever that's important to us, okay, that's illusions, that's delusions. Okay. Only by transcending worldly perception can one reveal the truth. Meaning what? These are kind of academic kind of languages, but what it means is that you need to let go of your worldly attachments before you can see the truth, before you can free yourself from your suffering. Your suffering is because you're attached to worldly things, worldly knowledge in particular. Any questions? Yes, in the back.
Master, it's just that the language of translation, they say oneness. Nhất như, is that one suchness instead?
Yeah.
And then
it's a suchness, not oneness. But I keep it because a lot of these Americans, the Westerners, they use oneness. Actually, it's suchness, one suchness. Iru, okay? Iru is one suchness. Okay? Iru is one suchness. But actually, the Westerners, because I ran across this term when I was in Seattle at Master Hsuan-Hua's, one of Master Hsuan-Hua's temples. I talked to the externalists and non-Buddhist people who studied Mahayana as well. And the translation they use is oneness. That's why I kept it. But yes, it's one suchness or suchness. Suchness is only one. Yes?
And then there's a term called formlessness. Just to be clear, it's not the formless in the formless realm, right?
It's
the
marklessness.
Yeah.
Marklessness. That's right. Marklessness. Thank you for the correction. Okay? So these words are something I like you to be exposed to. It's not something you want to try to understand or contemplate, okay? Until you're told to do so. Next, 199. According to the southern version of Mahaparinibbana Sutra, the distinct characteristics of phenomena, such as the hardness of the earth, wetness of the water, heat of fire, are considered illusory, can all be broken or destroyed. And so this is the wisdom of the sages. We ordinary people look at everything as real, okay? But Master Xu, for example, I'm told Master Xu, when he was practicing his Hua Tou thing there, and he would comes lunchtime, he would take a little bit of a bowl, put some rice in there, a little bit of water in there, and he stuck his finger in there and cooked it. And that became rice. So he used his finger. This is what I heard. I don't know how true it is, but it's so cool, it's a story. I said, wow, I'd like to do that someday. Probably not this lifetime, but someday. I'm ambitious. So he stuck his finger in there and then used it like that heating rod. Okay, and he heated up, and the water was boiling, and then eventually evaporated and became cooked rice. tastes even better than Korean rice cookers, I'm told. Okay? And so it's such a cool thing. And right there, it shows you the state that he is in 24 hours a day when he's free from all the worldly attachments. Anyway, I can't explain that state to you. You have to cultivate for a long time, then you reach his state. Okay? Isn't that cool? You read that state, but then you still close your eyes 24 hours a day. I find it funny. So you do this, but then you close your eyes. Which one is more important? I'd rather not do this, but open my eyes. Okay? What a happy boy. Okay, in contrast, real mark realized through non-outflow wisdom transcends universal phenomena is at the level of equal of one suchness. Let's use one suchness or suchness. Iru is one suchness. Okay? And so, anyway, it's lots of words. Don't worry about it. I just want you to be exposed. You know, you could try jumping on it. Sit on it, boy. Hey, you understand English? Sit on it. That's real fun. See how your dad reacts. All right. Anyone else? Okay, just concepts for you. It's okay. Don't try to understand. Next, Bodhisattva 201. Bodhisattva radiant splendor.
光严菩萨
All right, commentary slide. This Master Teacher says here, he uses his wisdom light to adorn the Dharma body. So you can see that this person here is constantly in samadhi, okay? And even when he attended, he was in attendance of the Buddha's lecture, he's still in samadhi, okay? And when in samadhi here, his wisdom light, okay, was shining and acts as adornment for the Dharma body. So he adorns the Dharma body constantly. That's what he does in life. He doesn't make money, he doesn't accept disciples. He adorns the Dharma body. Next, Bodhisattva, great adornment.
大言菩萨
Okay, great adornment. Commentary slide. Is contemplate the mind nature as expansive and vast like empty space. Okay, so what he does is that this Mahasattva contemplate his mind, his own mind, okay, his true mind, and he sees it as expansive and vast like empty space. How big is your mind right now? When you close your eye, look at your mind. Can you see the extent of your mind? You close your eyes, meditate, and look at how far your mind can see. Okay? Then you realize that what you can see compared to him is like a grain of sand. He can see your mind, the nature of your mind, as vast and expansive, like empty space. On and on and on and on and on. That's the extent of his wisdom compared to yours. Okay? And that's the great state, great wisdom that they adorn the Dharma body. That's what they do to find meaning in life. All right? They're not seeking fame and recognition. Bodhisattva Bảo Chi.
宝积菩萨
Commentary slide 206. It says here, Master Chuta explained the state of this Mahasattva. Okay, it's a little bit beyond us, but we should be exposed to it. Okay, so what he says that this Bodhisattva, his mind is truly empty, but still does not stop him from practicing the 10,000 practices. The mind is empty. Remember, he's a great sage. The mind is empty, but he still stays in the middle way as well and do beneficial practices, the 10,000 beneficial practices to help living beings. Okay? He's in emptiness, but he can also reach out and help living beings. And that's the middle way. Okay? Don't try to understand. I'm just trying to describe to you what he does. Okay? Yeah, it's not about understanding, folks. This section here is not about understanding. It's about exposure. You are being exposed to the state of great men in the universe. That's what they do. This to help, hopefully will help free you from the small mind that you're accustomed to. Okay? And all these practices accumulate as treasures and principles. And so what it means is that you do the 10,000 practices, meaning you do all sorts of beneficial practices. You benefit this living being, not living being, on and on and on. Okay? And all these meritorious acts, okay, accumulate and become treasures. Okay? And what it means, treasure and principles, when you do these things, you accrue these beneficial practices, okay? You accrue these blessings, and what happens is that all of a sudden you understand more and more. You connect more and more with the principles of the universe. What does it mean? What does it have to do with us? They're Mahasattvas, but when they need to help raise a child, okay? They go and try to help the child, and they make mistakes, and they correct themselves, they learn. And in the learning process here, they begin to understand the principles behind raising a child. Got that? You think it's only Buddhist principles? No, all the principles behind the phenomena. The principles behind how we can use mathematical formulas to map the pixels, map information to pixels and create images on the TVs. There's a principle behind it. So you see, Mahasattvas, they actually go back and contribute to the enhancement of human knowledge and wisdom. You think they sit there and not help us? No, they're constantly helping us, making advancements in our knowledge. Okay? Bodhisattva, accumulation of eloquence.
辩机菩萨，
Commentary slide 208. Go ahead, go first.
Sir, is there a difference between principles and knowledge?
Knowledge is a general term, so is principles. Knowledge of principles, knowledge of facts. Knowledge is what you know. Principles is the theory behind it, the principles behind it. Okay, accumulation of eloquence, Bodhisattva. The interesting thing here to me is that eloquence is to be in accord with the Dharma nature. I didn't realize it. When what you speak is consistent with the Dharma, then it's the foundation of eloquence for us. Because that's a good side. And the evil side, they also have eloquence that's consistent with the evil Dharma. From outside, eloquence is to be consistent with the nature of the Dharma of goodness. For them, it's the Dharma of evil. They're consistent, that's why they're so eloquent. You know, jumping up, or that's consistent with their Dharma. You women don't know what I'm talking about. Hi, Hitler! Okay. See, my boys are Elon fans. That's what they understand right away. Okay? So the principle for the good guys and the principle for the bad guys. All right? For us, we want to accrue eloquence by being consistent with the proper Dharma. Okay? And this eloquence here will accrue. Will get better and better and better and better. Okay? And in particular, this is of interest to you, if you want to really help a lot more people, you have to increase your eloquence. Because it's easy for you to talk to one person, one-on-one, it's easy. But eloquence here refers to the ability to reach people, many people at the same time. That's what Buddhas and Bodhisattvas excel at doing. They talk, but somehow they reach so many people's hearts and minds at the same time. So it saves time. Okay? And for us, eloquence has 4 aspects. I hope you pay attention to. Okay? Eloquence of Dharma, principles, words, and speaking Dharma with joy. Okay? Meaning what? Eloquence of Dharma, meaning this is what I'm beginning to teach you about the Dharma. So the more you learn about Dharma, the more you become eloquent. You won't trip, you won't hesitate as much. And you don't say, how do you pronounce Bodhisattva accumulation okay, and so forth. Okay, you're familiar with the word, with the concept of the Dharma context. That's why you listen to sutras. Speaking sutra is very, very important because it helps you prepare you for listening to sutra lectures. Is very important. It helps you prepare you to be a Dharma master in the future. All right, and not to mention the countless other benefits. So you understand the Buddha Dharma, and you're able to speak about the Buddha Dharma extensively, if you will. Okay? And that's a requirement, by the way. If you only do chant and you sit there on your own, you really cannot reach many people at the same time, or move them at the same time, like Buddhas and Bodhisattvas do. They do that by speaking the Dharma eloquently. All right? Number 2, eloquence in principles, meaning that when you talk about a Dharma, the Dharma of the paramita of giving, okay? And the paramita of giving has the principles behind it, okay? So these principles, from there you can talk about this principle, next principle, endlessly. Okay, that's called eloquence. And yet, all the things you're speaking are consistent with the Dharma nature. So far, so good. So you talk about with one simple concept, let's say the Dharma of the paramita of giving, you can talk about the principles behind it. Can someone name a few principles behind the paramita of giving? Just to test you. Surprise quiz. Yes, 5.
The giving of the fearlessness is one.
Giving of fearlessness, okay. Next. Quickly. You've been listening to my lectures for several years now, many of you. Yes, 2.
Dạ, kính thưa Thầy, bố thí ba la mật là mình không có sự tính toán. Con thí dụ giống như con theo con thôi, thí dụ mình gặp một cái người lỡ đường mà họ ở ngoài đường họ đang bị đói đi, cái tự nhiên mình cảm nhận được họ đói cũng giống như mình đang đói vậy đó, cái mình mua cái bánh mình cho họ, hay là mình giúp họ một cái tiền bạc hay là cái gì để họ có cái đi mua đồ họ ăn, hay là những cái vấn đề gì mình có nghĩa là khi mình đồng cảm với họ, mình cảm nhận được cái sự khổ của họ, mình đem tới mình cho, gọi là bố thí. Hoặc là cái người mà người ta buồn khổ mà mình đem một cái lời nói tới để mình nói cho người ta được nhẹ nhàng hơn, mà mình không có sự tính toán, không có chấp trước trong đó, cũng như là không có suy nghĩ, cứ tới là mình giúp cho người ta vui, thì cái đó là phải bố thí ba la mật không Thầy?
Amitabha Master, so for giving paramita is no calculation. So, for example, if I see a person on the street that is hungry and I feel their hunger, so it's just like me being hungry. So by sympathetic for them, I go buy them a bakery or help them with a little bit of money so that they can buy food to eat. So when we feel their suffering, then we naturally want to do something to help giving them so that they don't suffer from the hunger anymore. So that is giving. That to me is giving. And also another aspect, when there's a person that is suffer from sorrow, we use some words to talk to them without calculating for ourselves and trying to help them feel better, delightful. Is that also called giving paramita?
Okay, so she mentioned the principles of not being calculating when practicing giving, the principles of compassion when you see people suffering, being fearful. So 2 principles among other principles. Yes, JC, what else?
것을 줌으로써 자아에 대한 집착을 좀 버릴 수 있지 않을까 싶습니다.
Giving what I have and then reduce my attachment to the ego.
Okay, principles of minimizing the ego through the practice of the giving paramita. Excellent. Anyone else? How about, yes, 6. Quickly.
The donor and the recipient are both empty.
Donor, recipient, both empty. Very good. Anyone else? See, you know a lot of principles. What else? When your children, when you give away your children, what principle is that? Especially the noisy ones. Huh? Don't you feel like giving children away? Today in particular? What principle corresponds to that act of giving? Huh? You think that I'm joking? Unless you understand the principles, you cannot be happy when you give away your children. Huh? Anyone? What principle is that? Give me one. 7.
It's Alex's most precious treasure. He's giving it away.
Okay, giving away what you want, what you really cherish. Good principles. DTT, what's the principle behind it? You come near me, I bite you. That's my principle. Yes, DTT, what principle is that? Quickly.
Yes, Master, that's renunciation.
Renunciation, that's right. We renounce what's important to you. Excellent. Okay? Anyone else? DTT, quickly. Come on, there's so many principles. You got that? You can talk about principles on and on and on. You have so much wisdom. Oh. I'm so touched. Yes, go first.
제 생각에는 보시를 하면서 내가 집착하고 있는 것을 버릴 수
She moved again. I'm following her. I only recognize her voice. Yeah, continue. Yeah.
마스터, 제가 생각할
What principle is that? Vô duyên lãng xẹt.
마스터, 제가 생각할 때는
Okay, I see you.
보시를 하면서 내가 집착하고 있는 것을 내려놓을 수 있다고 생각을 하고요. 네. 허리 아파.
If I give, then I can let go of what I have attachment.
그다음에 제가
Wait, there's no principle there.
네, 그다음 마스터 제가 토요 본문에서 미처 다 하지 못했던 얘기가 있는데 그러니까 제가 앞전 본문에서 로얄티에 관한 질문을 드렸었고 제 로얄티는 결국에는 보다 많은 이익과 제가 설정한 지점에 달았을 때 제 로얄티가 깨졌었거든요. 상수님 여기까지. 네.
Okay. Yeah. Translate.
Master, I have something that I didn't talk for the Saturday Dharma talk.
No, I'm looking for principles.
And then in the
Forget it.
previous lecture, I asked about the royalty. My royalty got break down when I reached the limitation.
Okay. Let me. It's okay. Don't translate anymore. I'm busy. Let me ask you this: a quiz. What principles is it when you give all your money to master? What? It's not funny. This is real. What principle is that? Answer quickly. You can tell your husband what you learned this trip.
제가 남편한테 좀 설득하는 방법인데 마스터한테 보시를 하면 보다 큰 이익으로 돌아온다고 설득합니다.
I always persuade my husband that if I give something to master, always big benefits come to me.
That's a good principle. Great benefits come to you when you give all your money to master. Excellent principle. You passed. Okay. Anyone else? I'm so impressed. You have so much wisdom. Yes, 3.
Also borrowing the answer from this morning, giving money to masters, loyalty and devotion.
Exactly. All right. So we talk about principles, right? Eloquence principle. You see, there's one thing about the paramita of giving, and you can talk on and on why you should do practicing giving. You see that? You have so much wisdom. Isn't it amazing? Look at yourself. So impressive. Huh? All of you. You could go on and on. I don't have time for you, especially for Jumi, to keep going like this. And number 3, eloquence of words. Language is important. You need to enrich your vocabulary. You need to learn the language. Okay, and that's why my attitude is that if you're proficient in the more languages, the better. Okay, because words can motivate, can rally people. All right. Agree? Yes, 5.
Master, is there an early stage or to the 4 eloquences?
Yeah, we are getting better and better. You all getting better and better. Because I don't know about the other teachers, but I'm hoping that you become more and more eloquent because you are Dharma vessels. And the more eloquent you are, the more you can benefit the people around you in your sphere of influence. Eloquence is important. Okay? And finally, the 4th type of eloquence is speaking Dharma with joy. Okay? Speaking Dharma can be fun. It don't be like every time you speak Dharma, you're so serious and so rigid and so regimented like the traditional way of speaking Dharma. If you have fun doing that, that's fine. Okay? But speaking Dharma should be with fun. Should be a fun thing for you. Okay? However you choose, whatever format, style you want to have, it should be fun. Okay? Which means that you must accrue your vocabulary. Okay? It might take a while. What was it, the words you used? 3 words you used this morning and totally befuddled me. You understand befuddle? You see, vocabulary matters. All right? And so the eloquence, the 4th one is important because it's fun. Doing it is fun. Okay? And unless you have fun, people who listen to you, the more fun you have, the more the listeners will have fun. Isn't that cool? Okay? Stop here today. Thank you very much.